Good evening and welcome to the College of Health and Human Services 2021 Honors Recognition event. I'm Denise Siebert and I have the honor of serving as Dean of the College. And before we get going, I just have to give a shout out to Melissa Taub for preparing that wonderful video. Every time I see the great things that we have going on in our college, my pride swells and it just makes me feel so honored to get to serve in this role. So thank you, Melissa, for putting that together. Thank you, everyone, students, faculty, staff, and family for joining us tonight. This event is so special because it gives us a chance as a college to recognize the amazing achievements of our students. With the excitement of commencement activities taking place this week, it's nice to take a quiet moment this evening to honor a few of our own. Before we begin, I want to take care of some housekeeping and share with you some tips so that you can have the best experience tonight. Please do stay muted, and at the end of each section, you will be given the opportunity to cheer for our honorees. I will be right there with you, whooping it up and clapping, and we want to turn on our sounds when you get the option so that we can really let people know how proud of them we are. To ensure that you have the best viewing experience, set your screen to active speaker view. Before we get going, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our college. When it began in 1981, our college was comprised of just 4 departments and several hundred students. Since then, the college has continued to attract more than 4,300 students annually, mostly from the region that stretches from Merced to Kern County. We are home of one of the largest colleges on campus with 7 academic programs. Our college offers degrees at the bachelor's, master's, and doctoral level, with students from each academic level represented here today. It gives me great pride to know that our college awards the most degrees of any college at Fresno State, and I'm sure that number will only rise as we are set to graduate even more alumni tomorrow night. I'd like to take a moment to thank our more than 250 dedicated full-time and part-time faculty who nurture, teach, and guide our students for success. Please unmute yourselves and join me in thanking our faculty, department chairs, and other staff who are here to celebrate with us tonight. We would like to start off our event by recognizing the recipients of our project and thesis awards. Our students are among the best and brightest at Fresno State. Those who choose to pursue graduate and postgraduate careers must submit their research projects and thesis for review. Faculty and chairs nominated their candidates to be considered for this award, and we are happy to announce them today. First up is Brielle McGeer from the Department of Kinesiology, who received the Outstanding Master's Thesis entitled Mental Toughness and Attribution of Perceived Failure in Collegiate Athletes. Her mentor, Dr. Janelle Gilbert, will say a few words about Brielle.
Thank you very much, Dean Siebert. Thank you to everyone and congratulations to all the nominees. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you Brielle McGeer. As a graduate program coordinator, I have the opportunity to meet potential graduate students early in the application process. I have to say that I was impressed with Brielle right away. She was very respectful, asked good questions, and displayed a passion for learning. When I met her in person, my initial impressions were further confirmed. In her first semester, she was in a graduate class that I teach where I challenge students' assumptions about sport. The topics are uncomfortable. I love it because growth involves the temporary surrender of security. And when students engage, they have the potential for tremendous growth and learning. Usually the second year students participate a lot, while the first year counterparts are pretty quiet. Brielle was definitely an exception to this. From the first class, she fully participated and offered well thought out arguments. She emerged as a leader in the class almost immediately and earned the respect of her peers. This pattern continued throughout Brielle's time in the graduate program. She sought out opportunities to be involved. For example, she was a member of my applied consulting group, worked with Dr. Nicole Smith and her team on the SOMAD mask adherence study. participated in weekly writing group meetings, and was involved in my uniform project with a local high school. Here are some of Brielle's other accomplishments. She presented her thesis at the Central California Research Symposium and just found out that her thesis has been accepted for presentation at the annual conference of the Applied Sports Psychology Association, which she will do in fall 2021. She is the Kinesiology Department's American Kinesiology Association Scholar nominee, the Dean's Graduate Medalist nominee, and the Outstanding Thesis Award nominee for the department, as well as the winner of the Outstanding Thesis Award for the college. These are no small feats, and I have to admit that she made my job as her thesis advisor pretty darn easy. She is an awesome person, has a great work ethic, and is someone for whom I have a lot of respect. And I would be remiss if I did not point out that Brielle is an international student. As a fellow Canadian, she gets my references and accent, eh? Everyone, it is my great honor to introduce to you Brielle McGeer.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the kind words in the introduction. I didn't expect all the kind words, and I really appreciate you. I'm honored to be nominated and chosen to receive this award and been nominated for many other awards. I wouldn't have thought that I could make it here, but I did. In my time here at Fresno State, it's been full of ups and downs, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I've grown a lot here as an academic and ultimately as an individual. I'm grateful for the knowledge I've gained from my amazing professors and committee members, and especially Dr. Janelle Gilbert. I've been able to attend conferences, be a part of multiple research projects, and be able to learn and apply this through consulting. I can't forget all the amazing and great memories I've had with my faculty and my classmates, even through a pandemic. I also want to give a shout out to my family for their support in dealing with me and my millions of FaceTime calls to chat and see my puppy. Soon I'll be able to know all of you in person. After I graduate, I'll be moving back to Canada and exploring what the world of mental performance and sports psychology has to offer, while looking into doctoral programs to further my career and education. Thank you, Fresno State, for an unforgettable 2 years. Thank you.
Join me in giving Brielle a shout out. Woohoo! Congratulations.
Hey. Gabrielle.
Go, Brielle.
Congrats.
Thank you, Dr. Gilbert, as well, and bringing I heard your Canadian in there with one of the words you said, and I was like, well, there's that Canadian coming out in them. So I appreciate that. I grew up near the Canadian border, so I would get that in my world a little bit. So I appreciate that. I never got the A, but it's like, process. You said process. There we go. Next up is David Emirian with the Department of Public Health, who received outstanding master's degree project entitled Improving the Prior Authorization Process for Valley Regional Home Health Incorporated. His mentor, Dr. Suzanne Cotton-Yatzy, will say a few words.
Thank you so much, Dean Siebert, honorees, and esteemed guests. I'm really, truly, absolutely delighted to introduce my graduate student, Mr. David Emirian. David is a Central Valley native, and his leadership project helped to streamline the prior authorization project request for home health patients where he is currently employed, Valley Regional Home Health Care. And David is really very modest, but he didn't share with us earlier that he has received a promotion. So I don't want to say it's directly because of the project, but I have no doubt that this project really helped prepare him and sort of highlighted his skills. For those who don't know, prior authorization is needed by insurance companies before necessary services can be paid for and services provided to patients. And I want to add that this is the first year the MPH program has developed the leadership project as one of 3 culminating experiences. And David has just set an incredibly high bar for all the students who will follow him along this path. I can't say enough about David. He's gracious, he's kind, he's intelligent. He's also our student ambassador for the MPH program. He truly does represent the best attributes of our College of Health and Human Services graduate students. And after graduation, his plans do include becoming a doctor and continue to work on issues of health equity and reducing disparities in access to care. Please join me in giving him a round of applause and celebrating his accomplishments this evening. He's just a wonderful person. And that's all I can really say from the heart. He is a truly wonderful person.
Thank you, Dr. KJ. I promised myself I wouldn't get choked up. Now you made it very hard. I just wrote down my part because I don't want to mess it up. But good evening, everyone. First, I want to say thank you to the Public Health Department for the guidance and support during the culminating experience. I also want to say congratulations to all of the nominees and winners tonight. What a fantastic day for all of us. I began my academic journey with Fresno State in 2012. And after 5 years, I received my bachelor's degree in health science with an option in health administration. Shortly after, I joined the master's in public health program. And after 3 years in the program, I can now safely say that I am a master's graduate in public health. My project title, Improving the Prior Authorization Process for Valley Regional Home Health Incorporated, will further be continued and improved upon as I plan to stay at Valley Regional for the long run. I recently received a promotion, as Dr. KJ said, to Operations Manager to oversee Valley Regional's home health and outpatient hospice division. And with this promotion, I plan to implement the prior authorization process in the hospice setting as well to better care for patients who are terminally ill. Thank you again for this prestigious award.
Thank you, David. Join me in celebrating. Woo! Yes.
Good job. Woo!
And a young man that goes and works in hospice definitely tells us where his heart is. So congratulations to you and thank you for serving us so well. And I will remember that it's Dr. KJ. That way I can get by without messing that one up. So we now have Ali Sami with the Department of Physical Therapy, who received the Outstanding Doctoral Degree Project entitled Effects of Transfer Education on Low Back Pain and Disability in Nurses, a meta-analysis. His mentor, Dr. Nupur Hajela, will say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I think I want to kind of congratulate all the recipients. I think it gives us immense joy as faculty when we see our students going above and beyond where we want to see them. So in that light, I want to congratulate Ali Sami. I think things that I want to highlight about Ali is a genuineness, a beautiful human being, and somebody who has always heart in everything that he wants to do. And that's how I think I want to describe Ali. He wanted to kind of pursue this doctoral project, but not without his heart and his passion in it, which stems from what he saw his mother actually caregiving his grandmother. So that's how he wanted to kind of pursue this project, which actually helps not only his family, but also makes other caregivers' lives easy. And that's where his project came from. And I was so proud when one evening he kind of stepped into my office and he talked about his project. And initially, when we talk about physical therapy, it's all about the students want to do something really, something that's kind of talked about and something which is kind of niche. But Ali wanted to kind of pursue this project which was coming from his heart in helping his family and what he had seen his mother go through. The things that comes, I think, more in light is that he wants to do things in terms of policy changes. And I think that's what he wanted to do. His project was that he wants to take his research and apply it into education, apply into policy changes. And that was something which just, I must say that choked me when one day he was talking about how he wanted to apply and write and do things at the federal level when he wants to. Not many a times you listen a kind of student talk about policy changes when they're all focused about grades initially in their careers. So Ali kind of stood out in that regards too. I want to say that I'm very proud that he has submitted his work to the Education Leadership Conference in Physical Therapy. And I wouldn't be surprised that he will get accepted because his project kind of crossed a lot of borders in terms of the scope. It talks about nursing, it talks about physical therapy, it talks about kind of cross-professional, interprofessional approach to it. So I congratulate Ali, and I can tell him, I think in front of all of the crowd here, that I'm so, so proud of him. And I know that he's gonna go places and he's gonna touch lives as he moves along. So congratulations, Ali.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hajela, for all those nice words and those kind words. I also want to thank everyone that's in attendance right now. I really appreciate everybody showing up for all of the winners, those who selected, who did perform very well. And thank you for all the support for everyone here. To all my past faculty and current faculty, thank you so much. It was a lot of work. I know I'm not an easy student, but thank you so much for all your support. I really, really appreciate it. To all the fellow students here, great job. Congratulations. I know it was not easy work, but great job. And it shows we're all dedicated and very passionate about what we, foresee a good change in the future. So I think that that's going to lead to very positive influences in humanity. So I'm very happy about that. I want to thank largely, first and foremost, my family, particularly my mother, who spent day and night taking care of my grandma, her mom, who none of this would have even crossed my mind that it would have been necessary to help for caregivers if I didn't see all the physically demanding tasks that she had to do that were hurting her back and hurting my grandma just because it was simple movement. It's not easy and it's pretty strenuous, but I want to thank my mom so much. Thank you, Doña Sammy. I really appreciate all that you did for Mimi, and she, loves you as a daughter. So thank you so much for that and letting me see that. My dad, my sisters, thank you for the continued positive support. Program faculty, Dr. Hajela, thank you so much for seeing that my passion was well directed and useful in all this area and is useful amount in multiple settings, nursing, physical therapy, in-home caregivers. David, I believe was your name. I 100% can see you being very, very profound, and I think that this would help as well. So I really appreciate the work that you're doing. I want to also thank Dr. Leslie Zarankame. Thank you so much for your guidance and professional experience. You taught these classes that are super useful and very necessary for the healthcare workers. I want to thank all the healthcare workers. Right now, we just had Nurses Week. So thank you to all the healthcare workers who, are right now possibly undertrained, understaffed, underappreciated, and going through difficult work. Thank you all for them, and just keep going. And I think if we come together and we can do just like Dr. Hajela was saying, that I really want to do policy reform and hope to change for the future so that we can do preventative education so that we can avoid having even more patients down the road. I think we're going to do really great. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Join me in giving a shout out to Ali for his great work.
Everybody.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ali.
I have to say, I love this when we get these moments of interprofessional education showing up when we didn't even plan for it, but it is a reminder that we all are, it's a circle, it goes around, we all support each other. And it is really critical that we're asking these challenging questions and solving problems and establishing policy that's going to change the way we do our work in the community. So thank you. These are some pretty outstanding graduate students, I must say, and it makes my job incredibly joyous to be able to celebrate tonight. So we've had so many amazing and innovative projects and theses presented this year by our dedicated students. We'd like to recognize them one more time. We'd like to recognize our nominees of the Outstanding Thesis Award, including Diana Gasparian, who is mentored by Brooke Finley, Shanil Kumar, who is mentored by Helda Pinzo Perez, Sarah Tao, who was mentored by Dishana Jayasundara. Can we give them a round of applause?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And then our nominees for Outstanding Masters Project, Stephen Mangoni with the Department of Kinesiology, who is mentored by David Keenanen, and Michael Ballin with the Department of Social Work with the mentor of Dr. Marcus Crawford. Congratulations.
Woo-hoo.
And I know we've had some people coming in, popping in and out, and not able to stay. Oh, there we go. There's Michael. Congratulations. We've had some people coming in and out 3 or 4 times. And so we apologize if there's some network issues that people are experiencing. But again, one more applause for all of our nominees, awardees, and their amazing mentors.
Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Great stuff. It does. It just reminds me what a lucky person I am to get to do this job and be surrounded by such incredible individuals at different stages and phases of their career. And this is just such a joy. So we'd like to move into another award, which is our Distinguished International Student Award. And we're proud to have many, many international students from as far as Asia and Europe who choose Fresno State to pursue their college education. We'd like to honor one of them today. Tammy O'Doy with the Department of Kinesiology is our 2021 Distinguished International Student Award recipient for the college. Tamio is originally from Japan, and we are so happy he chose Fresno State to pursue his higher education. We'd also like to recognize his mentor, Dr. Nicole Smith, who is also here this evening and would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Dean Siebert. Congratulations to all the students recognized for excellence. Clearly some amazing work that's been accomplished during challenging times. And it's really awesome to hear all the different topics and see the perspectives and meet people tonight. I'm honored to have the opportunity to introduce Tamio. Tamio is a kinesiology major in the physical education teacher education option. And he and I worked together this semester while he completed a 45-hour internship virtually for Madera Unified School District. He worked with a really strong cohort of students, and it was really a pleasure to work with all of them. He stood out for many reasons, and I want to share a few of those qualities with you. He's well respected among his peers. He cares about people. He's knowledgeable about the world around him, and he strives to do work to make a difference, not just in the lives of the students he works with, but to make the world a better place. He's passionate about teaching. He enjoys building strong relationships with his students, and he makes an effort to help them develop physically, mentally, and emotionally. He's really takes on a whole child approach to his work. You can tell a lot about a person by how they respond in a pandemic. And I have to say, his response during the pandemic is very impressive. He was able to return to Japan during the pandemic. And while there, he volunteered and helped at a local elementary school. And this really stood out, I know, not just to myself, but to the other faculty in our department, that he was able to volunteer and help that class and the school transition to virtual instruction. He helped them set up Google Classroom. He developed a manual that they were able to share with parents and families so that people could manage the transition to virtual learning better. And that says a lot about him. And it tells us that our community-based values at Fresno State are sustainable and they travel all the way around the world to Japan when our students go places. So that was impressive. He also had the opportunity to speak and he was involved with the CSU Tokyo alumni virtual event. And so he's already, even before he graduates, sharing great messaging about Fresno State and the value of his education. That is exemplary, and it really says a lot about his desire to really make a difference. He performed consistently during his undergraduate studies. He was a president's list honoree and on the dean's list before, and we are just pleased to recognize him with the Distinguished International Student Award for the college. So with that, I want to turn it over to him. Tamio, excellent job. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Smith, for all the kind words. And before I'm starting some of the things, I'd like to say I'm honored to be here, and congratulations to other nominee and winner for this award. As I introduced, I'm from Japan. It was some trouble to come back to the United States while in pandemic. And in the pandemic, we have a lot of things going on in the school. And I think it's natural for me to help, many students as possible for me. And I think I'm kind of tech savvy for kinesiology department. So I was able to, transition, and I was helpful for that. And before I'm going to that, I'd like to shout out my middle school teacher. Before I'm entered middle school, I was not I'm not exercise type. I'm not active in exercise, but she gave me the great experience that resonates me right now, that it's, enjoyment of the exercise. And so I like to shout out to her. She's obviously not here, but I like to shout out to her. And that's the enjoyment of the physical education. Physical activity is my core value. So after I'm graduation, I'm go back to Japan and teaching, seeking teaching job in any grade level. I was thinking about middle school, but this semester I took the Dr. Smith class and have experience to teach many grades, like from elementary, middle school, high school, and that give me new perspective to grade level. So and also I like to say thank you to my family, during this time or all the time that support me, and they just push me to this graduation. So I'd like to thank you for all the faculty, or family, and all the students who helped me as well. So thank you for this experience.
Congratulations. Let's give a shout out to Tamio.
Hey, good job.
Well done.
Well, and I will say, as a former middle school teacher, they are the best. I highly recommend middle school, Tamio, that it is the best time ever, because they're still kids. They want to be grown up, but they're not. And they'll still just love on you like you're the best thing that ever happened in their life. So keep loving middle school. That's what I say. Because if you can survive middle schoolers, you could do anything else in life, I promise. So congratulations to you. And we're so glad that we had you join us at Fresno State, even in the middle of a pandemic. I am now greatly honored to introduce our deserving nominees and medalists for the Dean's graduate and undergraduate recognition. The candidates for this award have all displayed remarkable, and I say remarkable, achievements during their time at Fresno State, including strong academic performance, exemplary community service, and valued leadership roles in the university. Each candidate has shown a great passion for their chosen field, and I am confident they will continue to serve the Central Valley and beyond with their newfound knowledge and expertise. It was very difficult to choose among the many fantastic nominations received, from faculty, but we have narrowed down our choices and based on the attributes I just mentioned. First, we will recognize our undergraduate Dean's Medalist nominees. So if you will help me with the spotlighting, teammates. From the Department of Public Health, Nancy Sagarian. From the Department of Recreation Administration, Madeline Garcia. And from the Department of Social Work Education, Adrian Bonilla. Join me, please, in giving them a hand. I would also like to give a big shout out and thank you to their mentors, Dr. KJ, Brandon Taylor, and Travis Cronin, as that was just, I had the pleasure of reading the nomination materials, and it truly is such a pleasure to have learned about each of you and heard your story and your experience. And thank you to your mentors for nominating you. And thank you to each of you students for submitting your materials. Sometimes it's a risk to put yourself out there for something like this. And I really admire that you took the risk and you shared a little bit of yourself with us. And I feel so honored to have had the pleasure of reading about you and learning about you. So please unmute yourself. Join me in giving a huge round of applause to our nominees for the undergraduate Dean's Medalists.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Yep, pretty spectacular. And now we'd like to recognize our graduate Dean's Medalist nominees. From the Department of Kinesiology, we have Brielle McGeer, and we know she's spectacular because we're familiar with her already. From the Department of Physical Therapy, Mamie Takeda. From the Department of Public Health, Shanil Kumar. And from the Department of Social Work, Brandy Armarillo. We would also like to thank their mentors, Dr. Janelle Gilbert, Dr. Cheryl Hickey, and Dr. Hilda Pinzon Perez. So please join me in giving a big shout out to our graduate medalist nominees.
Congratulations, everyone.
Yes, and while we only get to pick one, these students all have amazing stories and accomplishments, and it really truly was a challenge for us, but an honor at the same time to be able to get to know these students through their stories. So thank you for sharing yourself with us. So at this time, and I'm that person, so David, I think, said earlier, I didn't mean to get choked up, but I'm that person, so, and I own it. So at this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our 2021 Dean's Medalists, Mindy Ross and Desiree Galvin. Dr. Brooke Finley will say a few words about our undergraduate Dean's Medalist, Desiree Galvin, with the Department of Communicative Sciences and Deaf Studies. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Finley.
Thank you, Dean Siebert, and I'm afraid I'm right there with you too, so I'm going to do my very best not to get a little bit teary as I go through this too. Hello, everyone. Congratulations to all of our honorees this evening. It's so inspiring to hear everything that our students have accomplished. My name is Brooke Finley, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Communicative Sciences and Deaf Studies. And it's my distinct pleasure to have the opportunity to introduce Desiree Galvin to you all this evening. Desiree is graduating with a bachelor's degree in Communicative Sciences and Deaf Studies with an option in Speech Language Pathology and has been recognized as the undergraduate Dean's Medalist for the College of Health and Human Services. Desiree is an exemplary student and a wonderful representative of our department and college. I had the pleasure of having Desiree as a student in my course on phonetics and have continued working with her in our local chapter of the National Student Speech Language Hearing Association, or NSHLA. When I think of Desiree, the first words that comes to my mind are resiliency and kindness. During her time in my class, I was consistently impressed with her dedication to learning. She navigated each challenge that she encountered with true grace. Desiree was an unfailing advocate for the learning of her peers as well. She has volunteered her time with multiple service-related organizations, coordinated virtual study groups as a part of her role in NISHLA, and completed coursework in the CHHS Honors Program. But it's her humility and her empathetic spirit that I truly feel will make her a wonderful clinician. She is who she is today, not in spite of the challenges that she has navigated, but because of them. And I'm very proud to share that Desiree will be joining Fresno State's master's program in speech language pathology this fall. And I so look forward to celebrating her continued growth and accomplishments. Please join me in welcoming Desiree Galvan.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Finley, for your kind words. And thank you, Dean Siebert, as well. Dr. Finley, I don't think I would have been able to pass your phonetics class without your awesome teaching skills and your amazing guidance. So really, thank you for everything that you have taught me and for everything that I've gained from you. It's changed me as a person, truthfully. So thank you. I want to start off by saying hello to everyone, and also thank you to everyone that is here, and thank you to my family also for attending tonight, because your love and support means so much to me. So one of the highlights of my academic journey has to be the relationships that I've developed with my peers and my professors, because the people that I've gotten to know at Fresno State have really made a huge impact on me as a person. And I've been able to develop such a wonderful support system, and I would not have been able to achieve what I have without their advice and their motivation. So I'm very grateful to have developed this awesome support system. I'm also grateful to have been able to flourish a little bit and kind of find who I am with the different programs that I've been a part of and the different volunteer opportunities that I've also donated my time to. I think that I've really discovered what my true passion is, and it's to help people regardless of their given circumstances and regardless of who they are. So that's been really awesome as well. And being in the honors program has also been one of the most awesome and rewarding educational experiences for me. It was really awesome to be able to develop my skill set and knowledge when working in an interprofessional setting, because that's something I had never experienced before. And so I'm very grateful for the group of members that I got to work with closely. They're very intelligent, very bright, very special people. So I learned a lot from them. And I also learned a lot from my College of Health and Human Services Honors Committee, Dr. Gilbert, Dr. Taylor, and they've just been great mentors in this entire process. And lastly, I think my biggest highlight of all is receiving this award, because there are so many students that are deserving of acknowledgement for their hard work and their success. And like Dean Siebert mentioned, it's very difficult to choose just one person. So to be the person to receive this award still shocks me so much. So thank you, Dean Siebert, and thank you, Dr. Finley, for believing in me and choosing me.
Join me in a round of applause for Desiree.
Desiree.
Oh, Desiree.
Congratulations, Desiree.
Congratulations. And this is fun for me. It's my first year here, and now I get to watch you move on into new phases and new accomplishments. And I'll be waiting for updates, because we have now connected, and I will be following you, and I wish you all the success with what's ahead. Now, Dr. Finley will introduce our graduate dean's medalist, Mindy Ross, also from the Department of Communicative Sciences and Deaf Studies. Before we do that, I would like to send a heartfelt congratulations to Mindy, who was just announced as the University Graduate Medalist, the highest honor bestowed to a graduate student, receiving the President's Medal. And if some of you might have seen that, video that came out. It was pretty spectacular. So congratulations, Mindy, and I will turn it over to Dr. Finley for an introduction.
Thank you. Hello again, everyone. I have the added honor of getting to introduce Mindy Ross to you all. Mindy completed her master's degree in speech language pathology in December of 2020. She previously earned her bachelor's degree in communicative sciences and deaf studies with an option of speech language pathology at Fresno State as well. I served as Mindy's instructor for 5 different courses during her time here at Fresno State. It's truly rare to come across a student and a person as impressive as Mindy. One of my favorite quotes about the field of speech language pathology comes from Megan Hodge, who is a professor in our field up in Canada. And she describes a career in our field as one that challenges you to learn to use your intellect or the talents of your mind in combination with your humanity or the challenge or the gifts of your heart to do meaningful work that feeds your soul. And I really can't think of a person who embodies that quote more than Mindy. Mindy's classroom assignments were consistently of the highest quality, demonstrating insight far beyond her years of clinical experience. She carried that content knowledge into the clinic as well, where she developed functional, engaging treatment activities that maximized her clients' progress. Mindy now works as a language and speech specialist for the Clovis Unified School District, where I am fully confident that she is a true blessing to her students, families, and coworkers. It's been my honor to serve as her professor. I could not be prouder to now have the opportunity to call her both a colleague and fellow Fresno State alumna. Please welcome Mindy Ross, the 2021 CHHS Graduate Dean's Medalist and our University Graduate Medalist.
Sorry, I clicked leave meeting instead of unmute. I'm going to keep this short because if anyone watched the video, and Dr. Finley knows, I'm a crier. And I'm very honored. And I want to thank Dr. Finley first and foremost, because like she said, 5 courses. And one of the other gentlemen on here said, I'm not an easy student. I'll bug you continuously until I feel like I know what I'm talking about, because I want to not just get a good grade, I want to understand it and I want to be able to apply it. Because I feel like my passion is working with children, and so there's a child behind this lesson that I'm being taught, and I want to give it to them the best therapy that I can give them. I want to understand them. And so I really do want to learn this stuff. All my professors, Dr. Palmaville, Dr. Mall, Dr. Skelton, Dr. Freed, Dr. Roberts, I couldn't imagine this program without each and every one of you. So thank you for all that you've taught me. My clinical experiences, I was with Clovis Unified and had Terry Rowlands as a supervisor, who is now my CF supervisor, and she's been amazing. My supervisor at St. Agnes Medical Center, Morgan, same thing, she was there for everything, still contacting me, asking me how it's going, asking, you know, how things are going now. I just thank you, and I really appreciate the honor. Dean Siebert, talking to you on the phone, I appreciate your support, and yes, thank you all.
Let's give her a round of applause and some whoops and hollers. I have to say, I love what Dr. Finley said about taking the heart and the soul along with the academic sort of combination. I think that is a true gift when we can combine those things and make it play out in our work. I think for many of us, that's what drives us, is we have the academic training, but it's our heart and soul that really gives us that day-to-day. So thank you for living that, Mindy, and helping us see that. So as a mom of a little guy who had speech therapy, I appreciate the approach that you've taken and what you advocate, and that you know, there's a child behind everything. It changed his experience, and he's a different kid because he can be confident in his communication. And we often don't think about how important that is for people when we're given that gift naturally, and not all of us are. So thank you for making a difference for kids. And in schools, that's a really challenging thing, because I know you get them for like 30 minutes once every 2 weeks or something. And so your challenge is great. So thank you so much for your dedication and for bringing your heart and soul to your work. And we're so lucky that we'll get to see you grow and challenge yourself right here in Clovis. So congratulations. Please join me once more in giving all of our honorees a round of applause tonight. This is such a grand time to be able to celebrate.
Congratulations.
Yay.
As we wrap this up, I want to take a minute to thank the people that really make these events happen. I gave a shout out earlier to Melissa Taub. She always helps me get organized, creates great plans, and always puts these wonderful videos together that help us really be proud of the different things that we're doing in our college. And for many of us, that visual display really captures who and what we are. And so thank you for that, Melissa. Thank you, Rocio, for taking lead on this event tonight and just making it happen. You knew that this was important and you had vision for it. And so thank you. Thank you, Beth, for working alongside Rocio and making it smooth as we can make it, and using your talents. I continuously go into other virtual events and compare to our team because they do such a fabulous job in making things as seamless as possible. And so I'm really lucky that I get to work with such amazing people that help us all shine our brightest. And that's our job, right? Is to help each other shine your brightest. So thank you to those who helped me shine my brightest. And tonight we got to shine our students as bright as you can shine. So
Yay.
kudos to you all. So as we conclude this special evening, I want to thank you all who joined us tonight as we got to celebrate our 2021 scholars. Your support and encouragement has no doubt been critical to their success, for our students, for their mentors, all of those people that play a role in them. Tomorrow night, we will be graduating nearly 1,000 students from the College of Health and Human Services. And we look forward to celebrating with you, whether that's virtually or live, because this is a big transition, and we hope you will embrace it and live this moment as much as you can. So thank you to all of our guests, my colleagues, our staff and faculty who are here. And thank you to our wonderful students for just letting us shine you your brightest tonight and letting us celebrate you, because it's the biggest joy in the work that we do. Thank you all and have a fabulous evening.